Good morning, everyone. We're waiting for the Senate President, who actually wants to put that piece of steel up there himself. What a day. October 15th last year, we came here and we had a bunch of shovels and we dug them into a pile of dirt. And we said, this is where it begins. 1 year later, this is what we have. We are unleashing the vast potential of the Port Authority. This is what we do. In 1921, the states of New York and New Jersey said, let's put together an agency that's going to do great things. This is what they envisioned. Great things. Running airports and tunnels and ports and bridges and investing in the infrastructure. I want to thank you all for coming here. Very exciting day. We have Terminal A being turned into Terminal 1. Wonderful. In 2021, we'll have 21 gates. 2022, we'll have all the gates open. We'll increase capacity up to 19 million passengers. Currently, the Port Authority handles 140 million passengers, 45 million out of this area. And we can do better. And we're going to do better. It's my honor to welcome you here today. We've got a series of very important speakers. The first one, dear friend of ours from Essex County, State Senator Ruiz, who she claims we're actually in Newark, and I know Joe Cryan thinks we're in Elizabeth. We're not going to fight over it. But Senator Ruiz is here. We're going to talk. She's going to welcome us here, and we're going to talk about some exciting things that are happening in Essex County with the vocational school. Senator.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning. So this is a running joke between my colleague and I, but the truth of the matter is that one of the greatest assets of the Port Authority sits in two wonderful cities. One just happens to be much larger than the other one, the city of Newark. So while we could physically be here in Elizabeth, if you look behind me, the landscape is the great District 29. I remember being here with every one of the speakers that you'll hear during the program and talking about my personal experience in Terminal A. And I see Tina shaking her head in the back because every time I had to take a business flight out, walking through the depressing gates, having the masking tape bridge on the rug, and just thinking for a moment, for people who live in Elizabeth and the city of Newark, that's maybe the first and only impression they would get about the state of New Jersey, their experience at the airport. Today symbolizes a new gateway, a new opportunity, shedding the light on who we really are in the Garden State, what experiences Terminal A will offer for guests and visitors. But what it does is something much greater, the opportunities for jobs, the opportunities to create a dynamic approach with our county vocational schools who have phenomenal culinary programs, phenomenal trades programs, and different avenues to really connect our students who are not necessarily going into a college path to create a curriculum that takes them from freshman year right into the career workforce. So I'm excited to partner with the Port Authority on that. I'm excited to have conversations with Munich about that and how we can just continue a pathway to making sure that in the Garden State, we represent who we are 100%. We offer the best to the people who live in the district, and we create opportunities of wealth and growth for everyone. To our governor, Senate President, Speaker, and my colleague, thank you for joining us up here up north. And to the Port Authority, congratulations on a great endeavor.
Thank you, Senator. So 5:30 a.m. this morning, I get a text from the county executive, and he sends me a video. And then he calls me. If those who know, and I'm sure the Senate President and the governor knows how persistent our county executive is, he sends a 5-minute video of the vocational school the Don Payne Vocational School. And you watch this 5-minute video, and it is stunning to see what they're teaching, the trades and the culinary and electricians and the laborers. They're giving our kids an opportunity to succeed. I spoke to Rick Cotton today, and Huntley, we're going to do a tour, and we're going to go to Essex County with our group and see what we can do in creating a partnership with those folks to make sure they have an opportunity to get jobs here at the Port Authority. Teresa, keeping our promises. So 22,000 jobs. We want to make sure that they are being created with this vast construction. We want to make sure those people in Elizabeth and Newark and in this region benefit from those jobs. It's my honor to serve as a chair, and I work with great commissioners. In 2 years and 2 months, I will tell you, of all the commissioners, we haven't had a single vote, Rick, where we've had dissension on a single topic. And that's a credit to the governors of both states. It's a credit to the commissioners. And most importantly, it's a credit to the executive director. Before I introduce the executive director, I want to say Kevin McCabe, the chairman of Middlesex, the commissioner, wanted to be here. He's got 2 sick kids. I spoke to him this morning. He's been an amazing credit to this board, and he represents the hard work and the diligence and the professionalism. So I want to make sure that people knew that Kevin wanted to be here today. All the commissioners, both states, and we really don't look at the Port Authority as New York and New Jersey anymore. We look at it as one family, the Port Authority. And we've got a titular head there as the executive director. And I, as have my partner, Rick Cotton, I introduced myself to him back in June of 17 in Newark, and we had a conversation. And we said, standing in the shadows of what occurred at the Port Authority, Rick, we got to get along. We have to get things done. And this is the type of promise we made to each other, that we would get things done at JFK and LaGuardia and Newark and the bus terminal. And Loretta's not here, so you can tell Senator Weinberg she can stop calling every week, Senate President. We will get the bus terminal done. But let me tell you, the Port Authority is allowing the greatness of the people who work for the Port Authority to get unleashed. And we have one reason for that. We have one leader. He's been an amazing partner, an amazing executive director, and a person who's got great vision, who talks about world-class facilities and the quality of service to our consumers. Please welcome the driver of this success, our executive director, Rick Cotton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's no question this is an exciting day for the Port Authority. And I'd like to make 2 overarching points. First, we are completely 100% committed to transforming our airports into 21st century world-class facilities. We recognize that what exists today is not adequate, and we are committed to change. Not only committed to change, we're committed to change happening as quickly as possible, and that is the other symbol of today, which is we are moving forward. We're topping off the steel. We are committed to getting this project done on time and on budget, and it is only the beginning. We are building a brand new Newark Airport air train, and we are committed to starting on the process of replacing Terminal B with a new Terminal 2. We are committed to a world-class Newark Airport. Second point I want to make is that you can never move the mega projects forward without support from the community. And I just want to thank our guests here today, Governor Murphy, Senate President Sweeney, Speaker Coughlin, our 2 senators. I know that there are Assembly men and women in the audience. And what I would just say is we are committed. We're committed to the community. We're committed to benefits accruing to the neighborhood that surrounds Newark Airport, to having benefits flow in the form of jobs, in the form of business. And we are highly focused. We meet if not every week, every month, at a highly senior level to pursue that. And I want to thank our elected officials for the support that they have provided. And I just promise 2 things. We are committed to completing this project on a world-class basis. We are committed to community benefits. And I look forward to joining you often to celebrate additional milestones. And I'd also then like to thank my partner, Chairman O'Toole. Without our working relationship, which has turned out to be very, very special, we would not be here today. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick. Next person who really oversees all of aviation, who is an amazingly dedicated public servant, been here for over 3 decades, and the airports would not be in the state of reconstruction and the state of potential and the state of promise. And we look for great things. Over $30 billion we're going to spend between private and public monies. And when Rick Cotton talks about opportunity, $4.6 billion being thrown off in economic opportunity. And the reason we have that is because we have a leader of aviation who's in the middle of that, Huntley Lawrence. Huntley.
Good morning, everyone. What a great day it is today. For many of us in the aviation department and across the agency at the Port Authority, we've been waiting for this day for quite some time. This really represents a new beginning for Newark Liberty International Airport. And I think, as the chairman and Rick had said earlier, we're really focused on transforming all of our airports and providing world-class airports at each facility at a time, at LaGuardia, at JFK. But today, we're here to talk about what we are planning to do at Newark Liberty International Airport and to celebrate this great milestone in the topping off of steel for the new Terminal 1. We've been planning for the replacement of this facility for quite some time in partnership with many of our leaders across the agency. And we were very, very pleased to be able to enter into one of the most interesting partnerships of all with Tutor Perini, the Port Authority, and Munich to deliver on this terminal. This is a huge opportunity, a very, very interesting and unique partnership, all that's going to deliver a world-class facility. But beyond what we're trying to do here in this particular terminal, we're also trying to make sure that we are working effectively with the community, to partner with the community as we bring this project along, with the jobs and business opportunities, and in partnership to ensure that this facility represents the heart and spirit of New Jersey. This is an important facility for us at the airport, but again, represents just part of what our vision is for this overall facility as we really create the cornerstone with this facility for a whole new Newark Liberty International Airport. Yes, we've got aspirations to create a new Terminal 2 in the future, and right across from us, you're going to see a new state-of-the-art CONRAC facility, all planned here for this facility airport. So I want to thank my colleagues at the Port Authority for all their support and the partners that we've worked with, the leadership of the chairman, the executive director, the governor, Senate president, speaker, and the senators, and our board of commissioners in having the vision and support for these types of projects and allowing us to move these efforts forward. Thank you very much, and we really appreciate it.
Hundley talks about the vision. So in 2021, the 100-year anniversary of the Port Authority, this will be open. 21 gates will be open. A year later, 2022, it'll be totally committed. And you'll be able to come into the airport, Terminal 1, and walk to your car. It's a novel concept here in Newark, but that's what you're going to be able to do, and that's the kind of progress and the potential that we see in the future. The next introduction doesn't need much introduction. We all know the governor of the state of New Jersey, Governor Murphy. I want to thank the governor for his support. Working with Governor Murphy and Governor Cuomo, it's been an interesting exercise of how two states work together, and it's been a cooperative effort. And I want to thank the governor and his staff for working together. Governor Murphy.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you to Rick Huntley, the entire team at the Port Authority, the commissioners. I want to thank the elected officials, the Senate President, Speaker, Senators Ruiz and Cryan, Freeholder. Thank you for representing Union County. Assemblyman Gordon Johnson is here, both in his capacity as Assemblyman and also perhaps the #1 potential consumer of Terminal 1 as a frequent flyer. I want to give a particular shout out to the brothers and sisters in organized labor who have done an extraordinary job, as has been mentioned, just literally over a year since the shovels went on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, you deserve our enormous respect and appreciation. Huge, huge accomplishment. I just got back from a state visit to India. We did one last year to Germany and Israel. We talk to companies all the time in New Jersey, around the country, around the world. And when we sell New Jersey, we sell talent and location. And location is roads, bridges, rails, tunnels, ports, and airports, in particular this one. And I can't tell you how many stories we get back, and particularly, Kevin, when we show the future of Newark Liberty, how much enthusiasm you get when you've got a direct nonstop flight from Mumbai or from Delhi or from Tel Aviv or from Frankfurt or Berlin or wherever it might be. That matters. And this building behind us, this facility, is a huge step in the direction of a new and even improved Newark Liberty will only make that case more compelling. And that leaves aside the legions of people now who use this airport when they want to get to Midtown Manhattan. Newark Liberty is increasingly the airport of choice. And I'm thrilled that tomorrow at the commissioners' meeting, you'll deliberate and, God willing, approve the first steps needed to lay the groundwork for a new Terminal 2, which is another exciting, extraordinarily exciting project, as well as a whole new AirTran system, which is a sort of central nervous system backbone to connect this airport and connect it to the public transportation systems and parking facilities. So this is a really good day for Newark Liberty. It's a great day for the Port Authority, and it's an extraordinarily good day for the great state of New Jersey. Thank you all.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Governor. The Governor mentioned we have a meeting tomorrow, a monthly meeting, and he just casually says we're going to be talking about a $2 billion air train in Newark, $2 billion air train in LaGuardia, and $35 million in seed money for Terminal B. I know the folks from Munich are really looking at that one. We are going to transform this region, and that's what we're doing right now. You know, for those that know, like I served 22 years in the state legislature, and a few years ago, I had the bright idea to retire. And some people came up and said, why don't you serve as a commissioner of Port Authority? So I said, okay. So Senate President and the Majority Leader, Loretta Weinberg, called me I get summoned into the office like I was going to the principal's office. And they sit me down, and we're going to have a casual conversation. And the backdrop you have to know is that Senator Weinberg and I have a really storied history. I don't think I fought more with anybody on the floor than I did with Senator Weinberg for the last decade. So then I had the good fortune of having her sit there for an hour as Senator Weinberg told me about what occurred at the Port Authority years past can't occur in the future. Or I looked Senator Weinberg in the eye, and I looked Senator Sweeney in the eye. I says, we're going to bring this thing back together again. We're going to make this place shine. We're going to make sure the 8,000 people who are dedicated to work for the Port Authority can see their true potential. And the vision that was crafted and thought about in 1921 will be realized. And then it's no fun to go before the Senate Judiciary Committee, Senate President, just so you know. Not a real joy. But if I knew then what I knew now about what the kind of mission and road we would all be on, I would have done it years ago. Let me introduce a special friend, Senate President, who was here last year, who cares very much about this region, who I'm told will in fact hang this piece of steel at the end of this program. Senate President Steve Sweeney.
Governor, I'm giving you credit for the weather. What a beautiful day. And when Kevin O'Toole said, you want to come to a topping out ceremony, it's nice being on this side of it instead of the other side where you're hanging it. I used to do that too. But it is great to see the cooperation that's going on between the two states now. I want to thank Governor Murphy and Governor Cuomo for recognizing how important it is to make the investments in the transportation of this region. And to a very good friend, you talk about Senate committee hearings being hard. You were no day in the park, Kevin, you know, when you were in the Senate. But the job that Kevin is doing for us makes New Jersey proud every day. And Rick, it's nice not having the Port Authority in the news for its dysfunction, but because they're actually getting things done. It's a great, great thing. And, you know, this type of investment is critically important. I flew to Germany. I was here in July to take a flight to Germany. It was the first time I flew out of here because I live in the southern part of the state. And I'm like, you're kidding me. This airport's horrible, right? And I'm like, just imagine if they made the investments, what this place could do. You're doing 45 million people flying in here now, and the facilities were substandard. What Vice President Biden said about the airports up here was true. The third world airports. We're a first world nation and a first class state, and it's not acceptable. So to see this investment, and the exciting part is the planning for Terminal B, and that shouldn't be lost. You know, you're talking about $4 billion worth of investment to get this place up, and then another $3 billion for another terminal. That's a lot of jobs for my iron workers, carpenters, laborers. It is a great day. So the progress is remarkable. It's been a year. Look what's been done in a year. It was a muddy, kind of crappy day when we did it, but sure, the sun is sure the hell is shining today. So congratulations to everyone. Our governors have done a great job, and we really appreciate the investment going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Our last speaker is somebody who's not a stranger to the Port Authority. He's come to many of our projects. We've had a lot of support from this speaker in his own quiet way. And I want to thank the speaker for his advice, his counsel, and whenever we have an issue regarding a legislative issue, he's the first one that we can call upon to help us steer through some of the issues. I call upon our speaker, Craig Coughlin. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I knew that Steve Sweeney was going to actually top this off, I would have brought the entire Southern delegation, because I don't think anybody's seen him hold a hammer in a decade. So the governor and I actually were going to volunteer to assist him in that, but that would probably set the project back by a couple of years, so we're not going to do that. But, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much to the members of the Port Authority, to my colleagues in the legislature, my friend Gordon Johnson is here, the governor, and Rick, all of you who have worked so hard to make this project a reality. This is a really special day. It is, the culmination of the first part of what it will be ultimately a fantastic facility. And to all the men and women who work so hard on getting us to where we are today, thank you for your labor, and thank you for what you do all the time. This is, as you've heard so many of the speakers talk about, this is not just about creating a terminal. It's about moving forward. It's about being transformative. That when I heard the chairman talk about being able to walk from the terminal to your car, it struck back to the time when many of the more regional airports, the smaller airports, have that and offer that as something really attractive. So for a facility as tremendous as this to be able to do that, I think will be just an incredible opportunity, and will bring the people of New Jersey forward in the way that we should be so proud. The numbers, of course, are staggering. 45 million people served here, $1.9 billion in wages, $4.6 billion in economic activity. That's the kind of thing that continues to move the state forward. It's the kind of thing that we all envision when we talk about big projects like this. And so it's a special opportunity to be here for all of us. I'm proud to be here and hopefully have in some small way done something to contribute. But thank you all for the work that you've done. Look forward to seeing this project continue to grow and using Terminal 1 in the near future. Thanks for everybody.
Thanks, Mitch. Thank you. Thank you very much. Huntley, that concludes our program. We're done. Gov, we're done. I want to thank everybody for coming out. We're now going to sign a piece of steel and then watch Mr. Sweeney get up on a ladder. Thank you all for coming out. Great things in the future.